Welcome everyone to the Week 3 Commissioners Update for the McGibblets Fantasy League. I am Andrew Clappy Feet Chambers, and I am joined, as always, by my co-commissioner, Ethan Lord Farquaad Cook. Now, I know what you're thinking. You got a mix of emotions, right? On one hand, we skipped Week 2, so we're sorry for that. On the other hand, I don't even think we made it this far last season with our videos, so...
Now you don't know what the hell to do, do you?
We're going to jump right into the action by talking about the matchups that we missed from Week 2. Starting with the matchup of the week. Brett's team, Lou Sass. I just got that.
Bozo, bitch, are you dumb, dum, 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 stupid? Bitch, I'm the cannon with this drum, 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 drum,
and Tim's team, Scuba Tim, were selected for the matchup of the week, and it did not disappoint. With some dominant performances by Tyreek Hill, Nick Chubb, and Mike Williams, Brett's team, Lou Sass, put up the highest score we've seen yet this season. Scuba Tim had some impressive performances from Josh Allen and Jalen Waddle, but disappointing numbers from Kelsey, Dalvin Cook, and the rest of his team weren't enough to even make this a close matchup.
Yeah, from Week 2, John Anthony was the only remaining undefeated team, so I was looking at him. He defeated Nate pretty well, but it obviously just didn't even last long, because now on to Week 3, and it's another game I was closely watching, was John, right? And he went up against your team, Clappy Feet, and I just watched as John had a commanding lead in the beginning, and it was just slowly dwindling down, right? Because of Marquise Brown, and then later it was Saquon Barkley, and then even Zeke's fat ass fell into the end zone, and sure enough, John Anthony is no longer defeated. Props to you, Clappy Feet. And so the standings are just kind of looking a little bit different going into Week 4.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. John Anthony's team was looking good, but fell last week to my team. But realistically, looking at all of the matchups and how some teams performed, overall, the point total was a little bit lower than what we've seen in previous weeks. There were actually 6 teams within an 8-point spread of each other, so really could have been very close if the matchups hadn't been so skewed. Thomas's team, on the other hand, unfortunately, Thomas's team, Thomas Jefferson, now has won his head-to-head matchup, but lost against the median by 1 point for the second straight week. So it's kind of cool to see how that's now really playing a role in the standings and how everything's shaping up. And again, Ethan, as you mentioned, John Anthony's team falling. He was the only undefeated team left. Now we have no undefeated teams. So if we take a look at our standings, we can see how the league's starting to shape out.
It's finally taken down.
Looking ahead to Week 4, we wanted to highlight this week's matchup of the week. Glenn's team, Polly Walnuts, going up against Thomas's team, Thomas Jefferson. I'm really excited about this matchup. I think Glenn has some real heavy hitters on his team. First of all, Ethan, you hit the nail on the head at the beginning of the season when you said that Lamar Jackson had something to prove. He's playing like it. He's playing lights out for Glenn's team. And Glenn also, there's a good chance he's going to be getting Keenan Allen back this week. But even if he doesn't, he's going to be okay at the wide receiver slot. He picked up Christian Kirk, who's currently the 6th ranked wide receiver in our league, in the 10th round. So I think Glenn's got what it takes this matchup, but it's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, Thomas can, however, combat Lamar, right, since he's rocking with Mark Andrews. But we really want to see if Thomas's Fournette can actually fall into the end zone himself, and if Jefferson can bounce back after 2 disappointing showings. It's just 3 weeks, and it's just very interesting to see DJ Moore and Allen Robinson sitting very comfortably on both of the benches. But Andrew, let's just go ahead and see how Week 4 plays out and just see how the standings will continue to shuffle.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Before we close out this week's video, I really wanted to congratulate you, Ethan, and Glenn as well for completing the first trade of the season.
Yeah, I noticed that I had a few more viable running backs than some of the other teams. So I really just wanted to improve my wide receiver depth at this point. I'm obviously just a big believer in Judy's ability, and just hopefully that won't come back and bite me.
That's all we have for you this week with the McGibblets League Commissioners Update. Again, we're excited to see how the action plays out in Week 4. For Ethan, Lord Farquaad, Cook, I am Andrew Clappy Feet Chambers. We'll see you next time. Peace.